Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're just going to be recapping last night's game, talking about my updated trade plans. I didn't get a video out yesterday just because I had to log some overtime, but I did put a post out, just a little PSA. I don't think Jaden Campbell's worth the trade in anymore. He's playing fullback with De Groot and Brimson out. And yeah, so playing fullback, his historical data is 45 compared to 60 in the halves. He's carrying a 70 break even. I would have loved to get him, but yeah, playing fullback and potentially next week too. I assume one of the two are back, but yeah, who knows what their plan is there. So he's an easy wait and see. I don't think he reaches 70 versus the Storm, but if he does, then whatever. We get him at the same price next week anyway. So yeah, didn't seem worth it for me. It actually worked out pretty well because I ended up looping Sharp in the end, which was good. I would have been stuck with him over Tamale and then Campbell in the halves. But yeah, so it worked out well for me in the end with Sharp disappointing. But yeah, that leaves me with just the two trades now. So Dylan Egan for Aitken and Horsburgh for Koloamatangi. I potentially still would have done it, probably not. But yeah, the fact I had to trade Toya instead of Tamale, it just didn't work for me. I would have rather I wanted to see Toya this week and then use him as a loop next week. He's got a low break even, so yeah. If I could have done it for Tamale, potentially I would have just bit the bullets to get a better score this week, assuming Campbell outscores Tamale, but yeah, not going to anymore. I did say in that post that I was potentially looking at Ponga if he was named last night. It was pretty clear he wasn't going to play. Adam O'Brien said Ponga was keen to play, but his answer was we'll see, which usually means no. So yeah, I didn't think he'd play. I'm glad he didn't in the end because it wouldn't have been a good game for him with the Knights playing the way they did. And yeah, like it did seem like a pretty reactionary trade. It was pretty much just because I didn't want to play Tamale, but I thought a potential end of season keeper priced at 37 is pretty tempting. I don't know if he plays Origin 2, but again, if his form picks up, then maybe he does. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. But yeah, he was one I was going to potentially take my flyer on. Probably won't end up doing him unless he's not named in round 15 when everyone will do him. But yeah, for now, I'm just stuck with those two trades. There's no one else I really like. I was considering maybe Jerome Hughes, but I want to see one more week because Munster's been dominating the kicking lately. And yeah, I'm pretty easy. I just want Campbell, Couchman, Cook in the next couple of weeks before round 15 as at a minimum. So it's going to be a little bit hard to get the money there. I can obviously go probably Tamale to Campbell next week, then Munster to Cook, and then I don't know how I'm going to get Couchman in. So that's something I have to figure out. I probably have to make a fourth trade, maybe someone like a Riley Smith or Yongi down to a cash out. If any decent ones pop up, maybe like a Latu Fainu, but yeah, I'll cross that bridge as it comes. I'm pretty set on my two trades. Full disclosure, I have not even looked at my buy planner this week, and that's honestly for good reason. I don't want to talk myself out of Koloamatangi and Aitken. I think Koloamatangi is probably the second best option. I actually do prefer Aitken over Koloamatangi, but given how popular he's going to be, I don't want to miss out on him. I'm not in a position where I can go against the pack, really. And he's traded in by 46% of top 1,000 coaches already, and that usually increases throughout the round. Aiken's a lot lower at 11.1%, but yeah, he's priced at 44. He's going to average 55 plus as long as he stays in edge. Well, that's his projection anyway, so yeah, pretty comfortable getting him in. I know I have a lot of edges, like I've got both of those two guys now. I've got Hosking, who I'm not even playing this week, and then Lucas and Fermor, who can both shift in there, plus Kartonga. But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys watch the NBA, but whenever the NBA draft comes, it's always a debate. Do you pick for like positional need or like best available? And these two are the best available for me this week, I think for most teams. And that's the way I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for fit. So I'll adjust my buy planner as I go. I just don't want to look at it because I don't want to talk myself out of it because I know I have too many edges. But having said that, Hosking doesn't play round 15. I don't expect to have Kartonga by round 15, or at worst, he's out by round 18 anyway. Fermor plays 15 but misses 18. Lucas plays 18 but plays 15 but misses 18 as well. Fermor might play Origin as well. So a lot of those guys aren't going to be available. Koloamatangi can move into mids, which I know I need for round 18, and they both play round 15 and 18. So yeah, I don't think it hurts my buy planner, but I don't know how much it's assisting it. I just want to grab them in either way, and I don't want to talk myself out of it. So that's all for my trades. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to adjust too much there. I potentially would have kept Dylan Egan this week if I could use him as a loop, just because I only had Hines, which worked out well in the end. But Egan played in the first game anyway, so yeah, couldn't use him as a loop, so he's set to get out of my team. But yeah, that's it for me for my trades. I'll get into last night's game. We'll start with the Dragons. They had a pretty dominant win. The Knights looked rubbish again. That was their 7th first half without scoring a try this season. With scoring 0 points. That is rubbish. I understand why they rested Ponga. I get it. It was his third game in 8 games. Third game in 8 days. And Adam O'Brien was filthy at the draw. But, he didn't do too much in Origin. I know he's carrying the rib cartilage injury. You're not in a position where you can rest players. Players are backing up tomorrow, today, on Saturday, which is 1 day extra. He's a fullback. It's not like he's a middle forward playing 60 minutes. If he is injured, I get it. And I understand it anyway. He is a little bit fragile. His body doesn't hold up too well, so I understand it. And the Knights aren't going anywhere this year, but the way they've been playing, you want to give your fans every opportunity to enjoy the game, and I don't know. It's a 50-50 call for me. I understand it, but I don't know if I would have done it personally, especially when Ponga said he's keen to play. But that's all from that. I'll get into the scores now. Damien Cook, really excited by that score. I'm a little bit disappointed he scored so well. He was pretty much guaranteed to come into my team for round 15 as long as he played big minutes, pretty much 65 plus minutes I was looking for. And he played 76 minutes and got a 71. He did have a try assist to get there, but even that's a 64 without it. I thought he was going to get a line break. It was very close. I was only half watching the first half because I missed the first 20 minutes, but yeah, really good score, 53 tackles. He was roaming the field when, what's his name? Jacob Little came on. So yeah, really good role. I'm assuming he continues that since they keep winning. So yeah, he's almost guaranteed. There's not many hookers available apart from Jazz who play 15 and 18 that are good. He's a really good price now. He's going to be a lot more popular now that he scored a 71. So I was hoping he'd probably get a 50-ish in the same minutes, and that would have been ideal for me. But yeah, more than happy to bite the bullet. It's just going to mean a lot more people are going to come on board with me. Couchman, so he ended up playing 80 on the edge, which isn't bad. It's a pretty good role for him. Obviously, he got 60 in base alone. Obviously, got an offload, 5 tackle breaks. That's not too extraordinarily out of the ordinary for him. He's usually an offload or 2 guy a game and a couple of tackle breaks. So yeah, that base is just really strong. Jaden Seward did go out with an injury, so I don't know if the plan was always to play him 80. I think Leilua came on the left and then Couchman moved to the right, or was he on the right to begin with? No, I think Seward was on the right, Couchman was on the left, and then when Seward went injured, Leilua came on the left and Couchman on the right. So, yeah, I don't know if the plan was to play him 80. I did think he was going to get a rest when they were up 18-0. But, yeah, it didn't work out that way. The fact that he was rushed in a week early and played 80 minutes is a really good sign. They clearly don't want to play Leilua 80 minutes as well. So I do think I talked about it when I looked at the lineups. There was no one really to cover on the edge, so I thought Leilua was going to play 80. The only possibility was Couchman. He's the only one who has any experience on the edge. I would expect him potentially to start on the edge for as long as Sewer's out and probably play 80. But when Sewer's back, maybe he starts and plays that Dylan Egan role. So plays on the edge until Leilua comes on and then he shifts to the middle. And I'd say he probably plays 65, 70 minutes. So he's almost a must-have for round 15. He's one of the best mids, one of the best edges, and plays in both the major bye rounds. So I think the injury concerns are all gone now. I would have liked him to score a little bit lower, so then he was a bit cheaper. He was carrying a 75 break-even or something, but yeah, well done if you held him on. I think he's down to 30% owned in the top 1,000, 5,000 teams when it was 85% or something. So a lot did get rid of him, which I understand. But yeah, it paid dividends if you did keep him. It won't affect too much if you don't have him this week. Pretty much everyone has 3 big middles and heaps of edges anyway. At worst, probably Hoskins your second best edge. So yeah, it shouldn't affect too much ranking wise that he scored well. I just would have liked him a bit cheaper, but what can you do? Moving down, Kyle Flanagan. I'm actually going to pat myself on the back here. I didn't pick him up, obviously. I was never going to, but I said when King Tongia came into the team, he was actually a really good high upside guy. like he was going to get all the kick meters. King Tonga doesn't kick, which is stuck true. He wasn't kicking in reserve grade, so I didn't think it would translate. And in those 4 games, he's averaging like 370 kick meters and got a 43, 38, 42, and 52. So yeah, that's really solid. Not many people picked him up, obviously. Like he wasn't a great option, but he's done really well since King Tonga has come in the team. And if you did pick him up, then well done to you. But yeah, he's been really solid. He's not worth a pickup now or anything. If you did bite the bullet a couple of weeks ago, well done to you. 30 tackles without a miss is crazy for a half. Jack de Belin, he was good. His minutes were a bit lower. He came off the bench instead of starting in the end. It is a little bit of a weaker forward pack at the moment. Like with Dylan Egan out, they did lose Stewart overnight in the game, and he still only played 34 minutes. So yeah, not much there, but he was really good in those minutes. Hamish Stewart, he was a popular pickup as well. I think he was like 1.5% picked up this week. I think he was pretty popular in the top 1,000. 5%, which is pretty high for a bit of a high upside guy. I didn't love it. I said I wasn't interested in him this week. When I did my tables, I couldn't put him in wait a week because he had like a 17 break even or something, and I just couldn't put him in a target. He is good when he plays bigger minutes. He played 54, which is good. I thought he'd play about 50 to 55. I don't know. Like I thought he was going to average about 45, which is just not enough to be worth a trade in, apart from his bye schedule. He got 45 and 54 minutes. So the minutes were really solid. The production wasn't terrible. Like a 45 and 54 is pretty decent. If you picked him up, I think you can be really excited about those 54 minutes. But when Toby Couchman moves back into the middle and Emre Gula comes in, he was 18th man. When he comes back, those minutes do start to shrink. So if he's only playing 54 in that sort of game, it's a little bit concerning. But well done to you if you did pick him up. I think you probably get another week or 2 of decent scores, and then when Sua's back, maybe it starts to slip when Couchman's back in the middle. But for now, it seems like a good pickup. Luciano Leilua, I did say wait and see because I wanted to see if he was going to play 80. And it's pretty clear he's not going to. If you're starting Toby Couchman on the edge in his first game back, that's a pretty clear sign you don't trust Leilua to play 80, so we can probably avoid him for now. Loco Tonga, they always call it Pacifica Tonga, but it's Pacifici, surely, right? Like, I don't know. If someone knows, can they correct me, please? Because, all the commentators say Pacifica, but it doesn't make sense to me. I've never understood it. But, I don't know. He looked really good. He scored a try. The minutes just aren't there. The try was really good. He's a massive body. The base was solid, like 23 in base in 22 minutes. We just need to see those minutes increase. I honestly said he was almost a better option than King Tonga a couple of weeks ago, but not with those minutes. Nathan Lawson, in his first game, he's not a fantasy option because Shui Pilotu is going to come back probably next week, I believe, or after their bye in round 14. But he looked really solid. He had a really nice line break, making about 4 tackle breaks and stuff. Looks like a good NRL player, but we're just waiting. We'll need an injury or a long-term injury for him to be relevant on the wing. King Tonga, he was up to like 35 with about 15 to go, and then had two plays in a row where Dane Gagai shrugged him off twice in both plays. So he racked up 4 tackle breaks very quickly. He actually got 5, but then he down-dated, thankfully. I don't have him. I never thought he was much of an option, but I said keep him this week with an 18 break even. He actually looked really good in real life, I'll be honest. He didn't kick much, but he had a couple on their line and got 2 forced dropouts. Really good kicks, to be honest. 20 tackles is a lot more solid, but he didn't actually miss any apart from those 2 plays where he missed 2 in both. I actually think he's decently solid. You can probably keep him for around 15 now if you don't have 2 other mids. But he's not a long-term hold, but he looks to be coming into his own, which is good to see. Moving over to the Knights, KPP led the charge with a nice late try. He was like a differential option if you didn't want to go Dylan Lucas. It worked out this week, didn't work out last week, worked out the week before. So, it's give or take. You'd still rather have Lucas, but he was a nice differential. He's going to play round 15 for you. I'd probably be looking to get rid of him after round 18, just because before round 18 when he has the bye, because I don't think he's an end of season keeper. We got so many edges now. that are above him. So, yeah, keep him for the around 15 bye, and then get rid of him in round 18 would be my suggestion. Leo Thompson, I put him as a wait and see. I wanted to see what his minutes would be like. I thought they'd be a little bit higher than 50. I know it's his first game back after 2 weeks off, but it was just gastro last week. Adam Elliott was out. He's out for 3 months or so. So if those minutes were creeping up to 55, 60, I potentially would have brought him in for around 15. I still might. Like, we've got another week or two of games before then. 1 week, actually. So, yeah, I'll see what his minutes are like. He's not a massive option. Like, same with KPP. He's like a fringe keeper. So I don't think I'll do it. But, yeah, if the minutes do increase next week, he could be a flyer for me. But, yeah, he was really good in those minutes. 2 offloads, really good base. I just want to see those minutes increase. Dan Gagai, the guy I've talked about every week for 4 weeks, he looked shit for the first half and then had those massive runs that I mentioned with King Tonga and picked up about 7 tackle breaks in those 2 or 3 runs alone. So, yeah, he turned out to be a decent score. He's going to keep goal kicking with Kalen Ponga out, which is good, but that means the Knights have to score tries, which is easier said than done sometimes. Matt Croker with a 49 in 49 minutes. I thought his production was going to be good and his minutes were going to be good with Adam Elliott out and him starting lock, but he's just too awkwardly priced. He wasn't worth the pickup, but he was good. If he was a little bit cheaper, maybe like 50, 100k cheaper, then he would have been in a lot of teams and definitely mine, but yeah, can't do it. Dylan Lucas with a 38. He came off with 2 minutes to go. I don't think that's a concern. Like, the game was over, and obviously he's had a few niggles with his shoulder the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, I'm hoping it was just precautionary. I haven't seen anything. He didn't look to get injured. NRL physio hasn't said anything that I know of. It was just a down game for him. Obviously, he set the world on fire last week. He's owned by everyone, so don't stress. I assume most people played him this week. I ended up playing him. Well, I didn't have a loop option, obviously, and I was obviously going to play him over Kartonga. So, yeah, you can't do anything about it. Bad score. 38 is his worst of the year, I believe. Just don't stress about it. Everyone owns him. McCarthy and Schiller, both decent, both not fantasy relevant too much. Fletcher Sharp with a 22. That is an interesting one. I elected to loop him over Munster when he was named at fullback with Kalen Ponga out. I said it before last week. I don't think it's a benefit him being fullback as opposed to halfback. 5'8", sorry. I know he scored a 98 last week, but that was like 15 tackle breaks, a try, a couple of line breaks. Like, it's not going to happen every week. The Knights don't look that good. He's involved in like pretty much everything the Knights do, but yeah, he loses tackles, loses a bit of kick meters. I know he doesn't kick much, but yeah, he loses that base floor when he's playing fullback, and in games like that, he's just not going to be involved. So yeah, I thought his floor was a lot lower than Munster's, so I ended up looping him, which is good. I think a fair, decent chunk of people would have looped him. I know it's owned by like 90%. I'd say maybe 20% of that looped him because most people have 3 or 4 with heaps of buy-friendly teams on the buy this week. Hopefully you didn't have to play him. If you did, like, there's probably another 70% of coaches out there who did play him, so don't stress too much. But if you did loop him, you're in a really good spot. Fletcher Hunt, again, a terrible fantasy score. I really think this guy's a good NRL player in real life, and I think he does have some fantasy potential down the track. Like, he doesn't break many tackles, but his run meters are solid. I know he only had 95 last night, but it was one of those sort of games. I do think the tackle breaks increase down the track. He's really good under the high ball, so they just need to figure out how to utilise him. He got a 13 with a try save, which is pretty crazy, and a turnover. Wow, that is terrible. 7 errors, holy shit. But yeah, that was just because they were just kicking to him and he spilled a couple. But yeah, I actually think he's a decent NRL player, and I think he will have some fantasy merit down the track, but not this year, I don't think. But as a cash out, if he keeps his spot when Best and Marzu are back, then he's not a bad cash out down the track, but I don't think I can do it. That's about all from that game. I'll quickly talk about these stats in the top 1,000 teams. Really good site if you haven't seen it. It's a free site. I just use it to see how teams are tracking during the week. So yeah, I'm one one player 38, so one behind par, but obviously that's not concerning at all. But I think this really shows how limited people played Toby Couchman. I know a lot of people will be looping him because most people have a mid that isn't playing this week, but he's 30% owned and you can't really see his score in too much. So yeah, unless he got looped, it shouldn't affect us too much, which is good. 12.6 trades left, so that's an average of 0.8 this week. That usually increases during the round. A lot of people don't finalise their trades for a little bit, so I expect that to get down to 12 or so. That's the average salary cap, so I'm a little bit behind par there. I think like 250k. So yeah, I've got like 13.9 or so. So yeah, about 150k behind par, but obviously I've got 7 extra trades than that. I know. I used 2 this week, didn't I? So yeah, 5 extra trades than that. So yeah, I'm in a pretty good position there. Yeah, most people didn't use too many trades, 1 trade or 0 trades, but again, that increases. Terrell May, 95.6% of captaincy, which makes total sense. He's clear, far and away the best option this week. Everyone's got green dots because I don't know why we're playing with 13 this week, which is crazy. And then you can see the popular trade-ins and trade-outs. So yeah, like I mentioned, Kalamatangi, way more popular than Aitken. It does surprise me how lopsided that is. I know people need mids more than edges, but positional needs aside, I do think Aitken's actually the better option. Yeah, Hamish Stewart had a bit of love. I expect that Campbell to go down a little bit after people realise he's played at fullback. Yeah, some other guys there, not too much. It's pretty clear who people are bringing in, and I'm not straying away from the pack there. But Aiken still will be a little bit of a pod. Maybe pod's not the right term, but he'll be less owned than Kalamatangi, so we're rooting for a good score from him. And then actually surprised Horse is the most popular trade out. Yeah, I did it myself, but I think there's not too much of a rush, but if you can get a clear upgrade to one of these guys, I would. But that's about it. We'll have another video out tomorrow or after the games tonight. Yeah, same sort of thing. I'll update you with my trade plans if anything changes, but pretty set on that. Good luck this round, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.